Well. Here we are again, working on some TRD headers. This is the 3.4 Toyota Tacoma 2002. Now, I didn't make a video earlier, but this is kind of the halfway point. Just wanted to kind of make some notes. If anybody else is going to be installing these, this is kind of the basics you need to know. I was able to remove the headers with just pretty much everything installed, except for had to unhook this air tank to put, or the air tube to put in the new headers, but the other ones came out the bottom. So right now I kind of loosely bolted them all on. You can see that some of the bolts aren't even on yet, but basically this is the passenger side. The trick to these though is to break it down into individual pieces. That's why they all come apart. So this piece was easy to install. The hard part was this piece over here, and the reason is because all this wiring and hose and vacuums and stuff. So this part needs to be removed while you're installing the two of the other headers. But basically that comes off, and I don't know if you can see from back here, it bolts on. It's right there. So those two bolts you need to bolt on already after you bring those other two pieces in there, and you don't want to actually set them on the studs yet. The first thing you want to do is just set them in there, bring this pipe in here, then you would go back here, attach those two pieces. That's a crossover that comes out to the side. And you can kind of see this is where I came through, and the reason you don't want to put those on the studs is because you want it to sag down way low down here, so you can put an extension through, I believe it was through, let's see, through this area, and to be able to reach the two bolts. Otherwise it's really difficult to get all the way back there. You can kind of see, I'm sure you can see back there. But basically, yep, you go through the wheel well, and you bolt that on. And once those two are bolted together, then you'd put them on the studs and then tighten those loosely down, or don't tighten them, just give them some wiggle room. And now this is the other part that was interesting. So in my case, I had to snug down this driver's side a little bit more snug, so that way when I line these up, this is going to be much closer. And this is the crossover that comes over from the driver's side. You can see it right there. And I got all the gaskets in there. They're all loose, so that way I can kind of piece it all together. Then what I'll do is I'll tighten down kind of probably the headers that go to the engine block first, and then, or maybe the cross member probably. Probably tighten that one down first. And here you can kind of see more of this. See, this is the bolt back there that you have to reach. It's really difficult to get there when you have them all lined up like this. So that needs to be tightened before this all goes down. Got my gaskets in there, got plenty of room. I do have 1-inch body lift on this truck, so that helped get me through most of this install. And hopefully you guys will have a 1-inch body lift as well, but nothing more than that. So this is the other part of this that nobody seems to know the answer to, but the old catalytic converter that sits right here, it stops at about here or so. So I was supposed to cut it down, but there's not really anything that I can cut down. There's like 5 inches or so in between these two. So I don't even know if I'm gonna probably have to delete that cat now and get a URD sensor adjuster. But this is pretty much what it looks like. So now I'm going to go through and connect everything and put it back to how it should be. Maybe I'll make a video of how it sounds without the muffler or the catalytic converter. But that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I did have to take apart these side flares, or I'm not sure. I had these little mud guards on the side, but you will need to take those off in order to reach the stud.